Big Brother Rewind is sponsored by Hover.com. Go to gfu.hover.com and get 10% off your entire purchase. FreshBooks. FreshBooks is an easy-to-use online invoicing service that saves you time, gets you paid faster, and makes you look professional. Get started completely for free at freshbooks.com. And by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook by going to audiblepodcast.com/GFQ.
Tonight on the GFQ Big Brother Rewind, a double eviction sends both Danielle and Big Jeff off to the jury house. Shelly flips on the vets, turning both Rachel and Jordan against her. Porsche opens Pandora's box, bringing back duos for 1 week. All this and more on this week's Big Brother Rewind.
Welcome, everybody, to Big Brother Rewind. I'm Andrew Zarian, joined by Jessica, as I meet you every week. How you doing, Jess?
Good. How are you?
This is the show that won't start.
It is the show that won't start.
Do you see what just happened?
I did. I saw that.
My table just broke.
The entire keyboard desk just collapsed onto your lap.
I opened up Pandora's box, and this is what happened.
And that's what happens.
And production is trying to fix it as we speak. We're going to get to
Andrew to the diary room.
Yeah.
Andrew.
I'm going to spend 4 hours in there. Just get a little update on what's happening. There's a lot going on this week. We were off last week. A lot of our viewers have been asking us, where were you? And again, I encourage you to send us an email at guysfromqueens@gmail.com. I got a lot of great emails, which I want to read somewhere down the line in the show. A lot of great emails from you guys, a lot of great viewers. I want to remind everybody, this is being recorded live on Monday afternoon, 6 p.m. East.
Yes.
So when I get an email on Thursday telling me I have no idea what I'm talking about and why didn't I mention so-and-so, it's because this is being recorded on Monday, not Tuesday, not Wednesday, not Thursday, on Monday. Last week we were off. We saw a lot happen. I'm not going to go and rehash a lot of the old stuff. I'll touch on some things, but I don't want to go through the entire week because it's happened, it's old news, and the viewers don't care, right? What do you think?
I think you need to touch on a little bit of what happened.
You want to go through it?
I think that you should touch in, just explain slightly what happened very quickly.
You want to go through it a little bit until I set up?
Okay, so let's see. We saw that Brendan went home after coming right back into the house. He went home. And then after that, they did a double eviction, right? No. Then the following week, they did a double eviction. Yeah. So first Brendan goes home.
Then Jeff wins.
And then Jeff
HOH.
wins HOH and decides to backdoor Danny.
When he won POV. He won POV. He backdoors Danny.
Yeah.
Danny goes on the block.
Right. And now during the POV, he takes Porsche off. And he puts Danny on, backdoors Danny. And that same day, there's a double eviction night. And then he goes home.
Okay. So this is where things get a little screwy. And I am not the type to start screaming about production. Jess and I and Tim's not here today, but when we discussed doing the show, I said one thing I don't want to do is start getting wacky with the conspiracy theories. Because you could start getting into that, and I'm not going to get into bashing the people on the show either. I want to call the show as it is and say what I dislike and like, but that's only my opinion. I'm not going to bash anybody heavily. I got a lot of emails last season about Britney, which were awful. I've gotten a lot this year about certain people, so I'm not going to do that, but I will, and I'm not going to do the conspiracy theories. But
that being said,
I have to question what's going on in that house.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why. Jeff won fine. Double eviction. You could get a little crazy. Say that the competition, the POV competition, was a little sided towards Jeff to win. It was a competition that he could possibly win. There were a lot of talks that Jeff was being pulled into the diary room inside and out. Fine. You know what? I have no proof about that. And people could talk about it and say all they want, but there's no proof. There's no nothing. It's just crazy conspiracy theories. So pretty much Khalil won HOH after Danielle left.
Yeah,
for the double eviction.
In the double evictions, it's not really a win.
Yeah, it's not really a win, but it is. So she won HOH, puts Jeff and Rachel on the block. They do POV. Porsche wins POV, doesn't pull anybody. Now, the swing vote was pretty much Shelly. Well, the swing vote was Kalia.
Was Kalia, but Shelly was supposed to vote the correct way.
So it was 2-2, and Kalia voted and got Jeff out. Shelly turned on Jeff and Jordan because of the big fight they had a few minutes before.
Right, but we don't see
nominations.
that. We don't see the fight.
We see the fight. We saw the fight later down the road. We didn't see the
Right.
fight at that point. We saw the fight on Sunday. Yesterday, we saw the fight. And we saw the fight between Jordan and Shelly. But we hear about the fight. We know there's a fight. Jeff, at this point, I think Rachel thought she was going home. I don't think Rachel thought Shelly was going to vote Jeff out. But listen, it's a smart move for week 3, like the final 3. It's a smart move because if Shelly's in the final 3, she knows for a fact that if it's Jeff, Jordan, and Shelly, she's not going to win. But if Jeff is out, there is a chance that she might win. Jeff is a strong player. So pretty much Jeff goes home. Jeff is pissed. Jordan erupts with Shelly.
Yes.
Because at this point, they got Jeff out. So that alliance is left to Jordan and Rachel because Shelly left that group. Adam is floating somewhere in the sky. And it's Kalia and Porsche. So obviously the next target is Jeff and Jordan and Rachel. Obviously. They do HOH. Porsche wins. So now they're freaking out. They're crying. Did you see any of the crying, Jess?
I did not see that crying. I see the crying of Jordan and that crying, that whole hysterical, like full body sobbing
and
that
Rachel also.
Rachel and Jordan are entertaining themselves with their crying.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised they didn't go outside to Rachel's crying bush.
She did cry in the bush, by the way. She did cry in the bush again.
Again?
Yeah.
She went back to the crying bush? I need a
bush.
crying bush.
It's something. Now, this is where it gets crazy. So Rachel and by the way, they haven't done nominations. She didn't do nominations at this point. But they had decided that they are going home. They knew. They said, oh, that's it. We're going home. Twist comes into play. Pandora's box.
Yes. Okay, wait. You have to give a spoiler.
Yes, we're going to go into spoilers now.
Okay,
because I'm not
that did not happen yet.
Yeah, most of the show is going to be on what's happened. So Sunday it happens. Pandora's box.
Right.
Now, so that's not really a spoiler if you saw it, but the spoiler comes afterwards. The twist is that she could open it up. She wins $5,000 and $5,000 to another house guest.
Okay.
So it's $10,000 prize. Or the consequence, whatever. I don't, it was whatever it was. So she opened it. The duos are back. Now, you tell me, Jess.
Yeah.
This is where it gets nutty.
This is strange. How it just
already
fell into play.
Already they know that it's going to be Jordan and Rachel on the block, right? I mean, that's... Why would you put Adam and Shelly? Why would you put, Rachel and Shelly?
Right.
That's who you're putting on, and Rachel will go home. Jordan will stay, and then next week Jordan will probably go home if she does nothing. So now you put in this crazy twist with the hopes that either Jordan or Rachel win POV to take themselves off. I'm 70% sure that this is Big Brother turning around and saying, oh no, we got to make sure we keep them. We lost Danny. We lost Jeff. We can't lose them two. We brought Brendan back. He went right back home.
Right.
I don't think they expected Brendan to go home that fast.
No,
I don't think they
definitely
expected.
didn't.
I mean, they probably would have guessed, like, if it was a double eviction, maybe he would have gone home this week.
Right. And I also don't think that they expected Jeff to go home.
No. And we have to realize,
fast.
and for a lot of people, and I'm the first to shoot down a lot of these conspiracy theories, but this is a ratings game for them. They need to keep these ratings up. We're in the 13th season of this show. The lifeline isn't too long if the ratings are not good.
Right.
This is 13 seasons they've been doing this. There's going to be a point where CBS turns around and says, you know what? It might not be worth it for us to put it on. We're not getting the advertisers. We're not getting the numbers we want. Who knows what it is? But when you're approaching a couple seasons in like this, who knows how many more years. I mean, it could go on for another 10 years. Who knows? And I'll be great. I'll be happy with that. But you never know. So CBS has to do anything to keep the ratings up.
Right. Of course. It's all about the money.
They obviously were not confident in the cast, which I think this was a big mistake. And I was really happy at first with the veterans coming in. I think it was a big mistake on CBS's behalf. They didn't allow new characters to be made. They didn't allow us to like anybody new.
Well, nobody's really a character.
No.
Nobody.
You have the veterans.
Nobody has a huge personality enough to have a character.
And last season, they did great. Regardless of what you thought of season 12, season 12 was not, ratings-wise, it was a good season. Game-wise, it was not a good season. Nobody played a game.
Right. But we had characters.
We had characters. Season 11 was good. I thought season 11 was good.
But this season is lacking that. And I think they knew that. I think when they looked over the cast that they had in front of them, they realized that nobody here was strong enough to carry the show on its own. Nobody had a real character. Nobody was enough of a reason to watch every week. And so by bringing in the veterans, it was a hope to not only keep viewers, but to maybe lure in some of the older viewers that had stopped watching the show seasons back.
Yeah, I was really excited at first. And again, I'm going to say it. I was really excited to see Dick on. Dick's been on the show in the past. I've spoken to Dick, hours of my life has been dedicated to speaking to Dick. And he's a great guy, and I like him a lot. But when he left the house, this threw a huge monkey wrench in their game, in Big Brother's game, in Big Brother's season. And they had to come up with something. And I think the whole season really changed paths from what they thought would happen, and they had to improvise. And whenever they do that, it does not end up good. It does not go well.
Right.
And we saw it last season. They screwed up big time with the saboteur, which was a total waste. So now they're battling the same exact thing they did last season, which is astonishing to me because they didn't learn their lesson with these crazy twists. What they should have done was had a brand new cast in here, built another season, next season do all-stars or do duos. You could have all the duos. You could have, and then have them playing against each other. But don't team the duos together. Team them up with somebody else. Have Dick and Rachel.
Right.
Brendan and Danielle.
Right.
Jeff and Will. Mix them up. Make that interesting.
Right.
See how they're going to play against each other because everybody is together. That would have been a crazy if you wanted to do duos. Or just have all-stars in there.
That would have been a great.
That would have been a great season.
Great season.
I think from season
CBS,
8.
are you listening?
From
Les?
season 8 to now, we've had Les. Come on, Les.
Come on, Julie, Les.
They're
You
too
got to be
busy.
kicking yourself, saying this was not a good idea. And I
don't
heard
think
from
they think
so
that.
many
I don't think they
people-
know that. I don't think they think that it was a bad idea. I think they were very disappointed when Dick left. I think that was a big surprise to them. And the last 2 evictions, they did not expect Danielle and Jeff to go home. I don't think they expected that.
Well, I heard from a lot of people that they're not going to watch the rest of the season.
You know how many people have emailed us? And by the way,
Yeah.
please send us an email. Let us know what you think so far. What do you think of the unfoldings of this season? You could email us at guysfromqueens@gmail.com. You could also listen to the show in podcast form by tomorrow morning, I believe. We should have it posted at gfqnetwork.com. For the people watching live, you can watch live at gfqlive.tv and chat with us. We have a great chat room here, about 20 people in the room chatting with us. I do not know what to expect anymore. I really don't, because this was such a disappointment to see Danny leave. I'm a big Danny fan. I was a Dick fan. Say what you want about Jeff. I know a lot of people hate him. A lot of people think he's cocky and arrogant. They don't like the way he talks to people, but
I liked him.
it was still interesting to have him in the house.
Right.
If we're talking about veteran, because the newbies, the remainder of these idiots, I can't stand them.
And we have to take a minute and talk about Shelly, because she has played every side of the house at least 2 times.
Yeah.
At least. She really does play every single side. And she got into that huge fight with Rachel a few weeks back because she claimed that Rachel told Porsche that Shelly wanted a final 3 deal. And Big Brother shows the clip where she says, "Would you guys ever take me to final 3?"
What does that mean? Yeah.
That means, do you want to work together to make a final 3 deal? And then all of a sudden, Rachel went back, told Porsche. Porsche told everybody, and Shelly was caught. And so Shelly lied and said, "No, I never said that." But the way that she lies, it's like, I think she really believes herself.
No, she's very careful with her words because she never said, "Do you want a final 3 deal?" She said,
Would you ever consider?
So she's not really lying.
Right.
It's weird and
see
it's
the
nutty,
one time that she does lie, she starts hysterical crying in the kitchen about her daughter.
Yeah.
And saying that this was not a good role model. She wasn't being
she's
a good
a
role
liar.
model.
But
But
by
it's
the way,
funny because she truly doesn't believe that she is a liar.
by the way, there's serious death threats to her and her family and her daughter, which is ridiculous.
I mean, her daughter, really, guys. That's
I know,
a little ridiculous.
Big Brother viewers are very passionate, but this is getting into wacky territory when you start, attacking somebody because they're on TV and they're playing a game.
Yeah, that's a little much.
You don't know these people. You have no connection with these people. Mm-hmm. You're watching them on TV.
Right.
Just watch them on TV and go to bed.
Right.
Don't get sick.
Right. This is not a reason to lose sleep, guys.
So here's where the craziness goes. And this is a spoiler now. Rachel and Jordan win POV. Rachel wins POV. So that means Rachel and Jordan are both coming off.
Right. Because now, remember, we're playing in duos.
Yes, we're playing duos.
Which
was
I find
single-handed.
Hysterical.
That is this week.
Not only that, but it's really interesting that CBS made the duos.
Yeah. By the way, we have duos now. So, yeah.
Right. And this is who it's going to be. Nobody has a choice. This is who's working together. It just is funny to me.
So, Rachel wins. Mm-hmm. And this is my point on how, this is my proof. Like, this is my lone gunman theory. Mm-hmm. What if Adam won, let's say.
Okay.
Adam won POV. Decided, I'm going to pull them off. Because it's duos, if one comes off, the other one also comes off.
Right.
Who do you nominate? Do you dig someone up from the grave? Do you bring an imaginary ghost that week? What do you do?
Yeah, it just wasn't thought out.
It really wasn't. Another one of
Or
CBS's...
they made it so that it was really not possible for Adam to win.
But exactly. And that's what they're saying. They were saying this was very much catered towards Rachel and Jordan winning. Mm-hmm. Jordan even said something, I don't know, I'm going to ad-lib it. It was something along the lines of production made the POV for us. We're going to win it. Something. She alluded to the fact that it was catered to them. And most people are going to say, why would Adam do that? That's stupid. That makes no sense. But you still need to cover all bases.
Right. There has to be a plan. And if I were Adam, I would just throw that up there just to see what would happen.
But they've been saying that. Like all over the message boards. I've been on onlinebigbrother.com and I've been on the Big Brother Network. I'm all over the blogs. And people, just the viewers, the fans are just saying, like, what if they pulled him off?
Right.
I would have done it just to see what happens.
Right. Just to see.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Julie Chen.
Yeah, but what do you do
next? What next?
I'm curious. So what?
You know
unless we're totally wrong and the rules, we're misunderstanding the rules, which I don't think I am.
Right.
If one gets pulled, the other one comes off also.
Now, if Adam had won, you think CBS would have just been like, there's another twist.
No, what they probably
HOH can go up on the block.
No, they probably would have said something like, and maybe this is the rule. Who knows what the rule is because we didn't get a good breakdown of it. And we haven't seen it on TV yet. But they might turn around and be like, oh, no, only one person could get pulled.
Right.
If you win the POV, it's the duo that wins. If you pull it, it's only one.
Maybe.
So then you pull it and then another person could go up. But I find that a little weird.
Yeah. Well, that...
And okay, so what if you nominate... Then what if you nominate... Well, no, you can't. But, I mean, that's just silly. It's a silly idea. Like, it was a flawed theory.
Yeah.
It wasn't thought out. It was obviously...
Much like most of the season.
Yeah, most of the crazy things that happen, yeah. People are saying, what if Adam won the POV and wanted to use it on Jordan? Yeah. And not... Yeah. What would have happened? This is it's a little it was a little convenient.
Right.
How this happened.
Exactly.
This week.
Exactly.
And obviously we know Big Brother could manipulate the game. Big Brother does control the game, and that's the whole point of this. Big Brother's watching and Big Brother could do certain things, but you are affecting the way the game is going to go in a serious way.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think a lot of things got thrown to monkey wrench. I know they had the double eviction, but what if Dick was still in the house?
A lot of things were thrown to a monkey wrench.
What did I just say? I have no idea.
A lot of things were thrown to a monkey wrench.
To this monkey? Yeah, that makes no sense.
No sense. Monkey wrench was thrown into this.
This is what happens when you're reading the same time as...
and trying to learn English.
Yeah, trying to learn English, yeah. I don't know. This is just... And
I'm disappointed.
I am.
I'm really upset. I'm upset with the season. I'm just kind of over it. I'm watching it to go through the motions and be angry at the television, but I'm not invested anymore.
Yeah.
They
and we do a
with the
show,
game.
and we do a show every week on this. We're still disconnected at this point.
They toyed with the game too much. They played around with it and just kind of made it so much about what CBS wanted and not so much about the true game.
I don't know, but what do you think CBS wanted?
I think CBS realized that when Danny left and Jeff left and Brandon left, now all the veterans were being picked off one by one. And they realized that if they didn't do something drastic, they were going to lose everybody. Because if Jordan went home this week, I think nobody would watch.
Who do you think this season was catered? I think, honestly, it was meant for Danny to win.
I
honestly feel that Danny was supposed to win.
I think Danny was supposed to make it to the final two again.
And I'm not saying that Big Brother says who's going to win. Mm-hmm. But I honestly feel from the beginning to end, this was Danny's season.
Yeah.
Danny had the golden key. Danny had, Dick was there. So Dick would have really protected her.
Right.
I think Dick is a major player and Dick is a target from the beginning. And who knows, Dick might have won. Rachel's in it still, so who thought Rachel would be this far? Mm-hmm. And that's bizarre to me, too. No matter how annoying she is, and I've said she has the worst game in Big Brother history, she has one of the best games in Big Brother history. She annoys the crap out of everybody, fights with everybody, but is still in the house because they know they will win against her in the jury house.
But it seems like she's not really in it to win it. She's in it to win second.
Danny?
No,
Rachel?
Rachel, because she knows that everyone hates her.
Yeah.
She says that I'm America's most hated player. She's aware of that. And if you're aware that you're hated, then you have to be aware that in the final two, no one's going to give you the money. Nobody.
She'll get 3 votes. She'll get Jordan. No, it depends.
Well, it depends on who's in the final two.
Her best thing is not to go there with Jordan.
Oh my God.
To go in with Shelly.
Yeah.
She will win. Okay, based on who's
but
in
Shelly
there right
would
now.
still get all of the votes from
you think so?
From the newbies.
No. Not if you know what's been developing. They're catching her in all her lies again.
Really?
Kalia caught her in another lie, so they're saying they might turn on her. She's gone, by the way. So, by the way, Adam and her are on the block.
Right. So Shelly's going to go home.
You never know, but Adam cannot win a competition. Mm-hmm. He doesn't have the stamina. That's his problem. I mean, if it's he did great with that tossing thing. Mm-hmm. But if it involves stamina, he's not going to win. Shelly might. Shelly has a bad back and Shelly has issues, but Shelly can possibly win.
Right.
Porsche is very competitive and has come out of nowhere, and she's a very strong player. Kalia, I don't know. I still haven't made up my mind on Kalia. She's won 2 HOHs, but really that was 1 HOH. She didn't control the house, and when she had a week, she made a horrible move. At this point, it's not really your moves on what you do when you're HOH. It's who's going to win. Mm-hmm. If I was Rachel and Jordan, if this goes down to the wire, to some sort of trivia competition, you have to let Jordan win. Jordan has to win this week.
Right.
No matter what happens. I mean, if Rachel wins, they're screwed. Because the following week, Jordan will not win if it's a serious competition.
Yeah, and we haven't seen an endurance for a while.
They have to strategize on how they're going to do this.
And they're going to do an endurance challenge soon. And when it comes to endurance challenges, Danny was
the final three is the final 3 is a major endurance. Remember that's going back and forth and slamming against the wall?
Right.
That was the final 3. So I don't know what's coming up exactly. I can't remember.
I don't know, but in terms of who could actually win in endurance, it's not going to be Kalia, it's not going to be Adam, and it's not going to be Jordan. So really, in the end, it's going to be Rachel. So really, Rachel needs to make sure that she's in it for next week, which is why Jordan has to win this week. And I think that what CBS wants is I really do believe that CBS wants a veteran and a newbie in the end for the final two.
Yeah, but who's it going to be? Jordan and Jordan. By the way, Jordan. Everybody loves Jordan. I don't think she will win against a newbie in that house. I don't think she'll win this season.
Well, because she won
already.
Yeah.
So the fair thing, and I think a lot of them will say, you know what? It's not fair for her to win again.
Right.
And it's if it's a new person, we have to give it to the new person. I think they'll do that. And Jeff has already won $15,000.
Yeah, no,
I think a lot of people will think that way.
Yeah, I don't think that Jordan's going to win, but I think that they do want
unless
a
it's a total
newbie.
villain.
I think they want a new person, and I think they want a veteran in the final two.
Okay.
And that way they'll have an extra person to bring back to All-Stars, because then they'll have a winner. That's what I think.
I'm just going down my list of notes here. Again, I want to encourage everybody to send us emails here at the network at Big Brother Rewind at guysfromqueens@gmail.com. Send us an email. Let us know what you've been thinking of the season so far. If you think Big Brother manipulated the game and what you think of this. Because this is astonishing to me, the way this is playing out. So we're left with Jordan, Rachel, Adam, Porsche, Kalia, and Shelly.
Yeah. Kalia.
I think, Kalia could win. Kalia could win.
What, like a final two?
No, I think Kalia could win it.
Really?
Yeah. I think Kalia could win it. Adam
I
has done nothing, and I think they won't give it to Adam.
I could see it being Porsche and Rachel in the final two.
Porsche, Rachel, and Porsche will win.
Yeah.
Unless we're wrong,
And she'll wear her pink jumpsuit. Her pink velour jumpsuit.
Her pink every day. Every day. That's all she wears because she doesn't fit into anything else. Kalia could possibly win because Kalia has become just, I don't know. She's interesting.
Somehow
Kalia.
A powerhouse all of a sudden. But she's not really very
but she's
strong
not,
without Danny.
No, she's not strong. So what you really have to do is knock one of them out. You have to knock Kalia or Porsche because they've never played the game on their own.
Right.
So you have to knock one of them out next week. Mm-hmm. I don't know who you would knock out. Who do you think should be out? If let's say Adam, well, Shelly's gone, right? Let's think
Shelly's
about this.
Shelly's going to be gone.
You think
and
so?
It's going to be Adam.
Because Adam cannot be trusted either. Because Adam has turned around to Rachel and Jordan and said, well, we had the newbies have stuck together. That was the deal for us to stick together.
But that's not trusting. Well, even what if you listen to the feed,
Jordan
says, I really trust Adam because when Adam doesn't want something, he tells you no. So when I came to him to work with him, he told me no. He could have told me yes and then lied and then worked behind my back with somebody else. But instead, he told me the truth. So he really can be trusted in terms of taking what he says at face value. So, yes, he's flip-flopped, but as of right now, his alliance is to the newbies.
By the way, little update. Rachel is not pregnant. She took a pregnancy test. Finally, she's not pregnant.
Oh, she's not pregnant.
She's not.
You're going to have to explain that one.
Somebody just sent me a message saying, I vote to evict Rachel's baby. Awful person, you. Awful.
That's so funny.
I don't know. I'm still astonished that it has come to this game. And I have been a fan for a couple years. I haven't been a fan from the beginning. I haven't watched from the beginning. I know Jess has watched a lot more than me, but this is the first time that I've seen such manipulation to the point where you can't ignore it and you can't say, no, it's a coincidence.
Right.
You really can't. You know for a fact that this was put in place for Rachel and Jordan to stay this week. Mm-hmm. And if they win HOH next week, that's going to get nutty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because who do they pick off? And I'm speaking as if they have won next week. If they have won on Thursday. Thursday is come and gone, and they have won. That's how I see this happening.
I think that they have to. I think CBS will ensure that they will win for next week. Because if not, they'll be gone the following week, and all that's going to be left is newbies in the end. And I don't think that CBS wants that. I really, really don't. I don't.
No, it's one newbie, one veteran. But who are you going to put?
You don't have anyone left.
They're all weak, but the veterans are weak. I mean, I'm talking about a game. I'm talking about an all-star player. There's no all-star newbie this year.
No.
Dom could have been a great player.
Yeah,
but
he was voted out too
Danny
quickly.
he was a casualty of Danny's
love affair.
Yeah. Cassie left because of Dom, like that whole thing. That group all got picked off.
Yeah.
There was no hope for them. From the beginning, there was no hope for these people to survive.
Right.
The only hope was when Dick left. Because they were still having, the veterans had a meltdown.
Right.
And that's when Danny realized, oh my God, they are not that strong. My father was keeping them together for 6 days.
Right.
The 6 days that Dick was in there. Dick set the path for the veterans for about 3 weeks. He sat down and told everybody, this is what you got to do. This is what you got to do.
Right.
And he was going to bring in Porsche into that alliance. If Porsche had gone to that alliance,
it would have been a different
totally
game.
different game.
Yeah.
Totally different game. It's fascinating how it twisted because Porsche does not have a good social game at all. Porsche did not talk to that side
Right.
for a long time. Never sat down and spoke to Jeff. Didn't talk to Jordan about game. Just didn't have it.
Right.
I don't think she expected to be in this house this long.
I don't think so either.
I think when she teamed up,
I don't think any of us thought that she. And Kalia, I mean, of all the people in the world, I really didn't see that.
Because Danny was smart.
But who knew that Kalia would team up with Danny? I didn't think that Kalia would team up. I didn't think that Danny would team up with Kalia.
I think Danny made it very clear that she needed a backup in the newbies.
Yeah.
And Dom was her backup. So she was saying, well, if I do go on the block, at least I have Dom, and whoever Dom is friends with, I'll have that vote, and I'll be safe. Danny was really thinking about these couple of weeks now in the beginning of the game. The problem was she jumped the gun and wanted to backdoor Jeff, which I still don't. I think that was way too early. She should have done it when she won.
Exactly.
Not when she had no power. She went to Rachel and said, let's backdoor. She, in her mind, trusted Rachel to that level of backdooring Jeff.
Yeah. It wasn't smart.
Not smart.
No.
I don't know. Rachel, they make her into a villain. I don't think she's a villain. I don't think Rachel's a villain. I think she's just emotionally disturbed.
She's confused.
She is. She's very confused. She doesn't know how to handle life when in that house. I think the house just makes her nuts. Right. And she just doesn't know how to handle. I don't think she's that bright.
Yeah.
I think she's extremely childish. And it shows in that house because you're vulnerable. Right. Danny is the strongest player. Mentally, in Big Brother history, I have to say, psychologically, Danny's one of the strongest players ever to play that game. She did not care. She was on that block. She did not lose it. I know she was crying at one point. She got a little upset at one point. But she wasn't hysterical. She took it. She said, this is what it is, and that's it. Right. I don't think anybody else has been able to handle it that way. Porsche even cried this week. Porsche was crying.
About what?
Because she doesn't know what to do.
I'm crying.
Because you have no idea what to do.
I don't know what to do. I want to turn it off and I can't. It's like a car wreck.
I don't know.
I want to turn it off. I'm gonna find a bush and I'm gonna go cry.
Who do you think is the best player in the game right now? Best player in that house. All around player. I'm not saying competition. I'm not saying socially. All around good player. Oh dear Lord. I'm gonna go with Adam. Really? I'm gonna go with Adam. Adam is the most useless human being ever. He is a useless human being, but knows. He's just a pile of skin. He knows how to float. He knows how to float, and everybody trusts him ish enough. You know why? And he can jump on anybody's bandwagon, and he's not strong at all. So he's not really. Nobody views him as a competitor. Is it just me, or does he look a lot weaker now that he shaved his beard? Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, right? Mm-hmm. He just looks like melting skin. He does. He looks like a sad little man. And of course, he's definitely not strong in competitions until he needs it. When he needs to, when he wins. He won one sack throw. Yeah. You're out of your mind. Yeah. And the only reason why he won is because Jeff threw it. He's an ultimate floater. I think that he is the ultimate floater. I think that he's the ultimate floater. And in terms of floaters make it far in this game. They do. They make it very far. Look at Jordan. Jordan, I think, is a brilliant player because everyone thinks she's really dumb, and she plays that so well. She's like the Jessica Simpson of the Big Brother. No, I don't think she's dumb. I think she knows exactly what she's doing, and she's methodical, and she thinks about what she wants to do. But everybody thinks she's dumb, and that's why she gets away with it. I think she's weak. She can't play a challenge for the life of her.
Right. Nobody in the game really
It'd
is
be
a
hysterical. She
character.
wins the endurance.
Well, I mean, that would prove something to people in general, to us, to me.
Do you think Rachel's that strong of a competition player?
No,
But she wins.
not all the time.
Do you think she wins because she has like crazy person strength? I'm being politically correct
You think
a
that
little
she's
bit.
crazy person strength?
Yeah,
I don't
like-
know.
Like
I mean,
someone when and
she
again, I'm
wins
doing this
some
very
things.
politically correct. So
I
I'm
think-
using different words, but
I
when someone is a
think
little
that-
off,
yes.
they don't know their own strength.
Right.
That's what she's like, I think. I think
Right.
she gets so crazy, she feels nothing. She just plows through it.
Right.
And that's why she might do decent in some of these endurances.
She might do.
Oh, no, she did crappy with that Scoopy thing.
The Scoopy thing, she was
Yeah.
awful at. And by Scoopy thing, the two of us means the soap bowl, the giant bowl of soap where they had to take the bowl of soap and they had to run across the soapy lane and then put the soap in the little hole. That's the Scoopy game. And she did awful at that game. Awful. But,
Jeff, I don't know. Jeff was not that unbelievable of a player either. But what was the POV? Do you remember what the POV was for Jeff? Last
Which
week?
time?
God, I forget last week's POV.
where he lost with the shoe?
No. The one before that, where he won to take to backdoor Danny.
Oh, I don't know.
I can't remember it. It's been a long week.
I don't remember. But the one with where he goes home is the shoe because he dropped the clown
Suncast,
shoe.
what was that POV? Suncast is our producer here at the network. He probably would know. He's been the one telling us. Oh, somebody said Zingbot. Yeah, it was Zingbot. Okay. He's not a smart player. This is a man who brought us Technotronic. And you know what his problem was? And again, let's go through this again. And we're jumping around because a lot happened. And there's a lot of thoughts in my head right now. Jeff made a lot of bad moves when he won HOH. He won HOH and he thought, this is it. The house is mine. I'm going to control it. He got really cocky. And he is really cocky in this game.
Yeah.
He pretty much, when Porsche came to talk game with him, he pretty much called her an idiot and said, it's been 45 days or 42 days. You haven't said a word to me. And now you're coming and talking game to me. You know what? You should learn how to play the game. It's time for you to step it up and play the game. It's almost like he's won it and he's coaching her in another season.
Right.
That's extremely arrogant.
A little bit.
Kalia came to talk game, and Kalia turned around to Kalia and said, I told you I'm coming after you, now I'm fucking coming after you.
Yeah, he is cocky and definitely cocky.
And then he backdoored Danny. He burnt every bridge in that house and then fought with Shelly. He got into that big fight with Shelly the night of the eviction. You just screwed yourself. Everybody. I think he just imploded. He pulled a Rachel.
Yeah.
He went up to everybody and just fought with everybody, and that is the worst move you could ever make in this house.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Right.
And I always wonder that. What happens to these people when they're in the house? What happens that they lose it to the point where they just flip on everybody? Why does that happen? Why do you think?
Nobody knows. No, I think it's the house. I think that it eventually gets to you. I don't think that people are supposed to live cut off from the world around them. And I think that it eventually gets to you. You're not allowed to really do anything. You have to, follow all these rules. You play these ridiculous games. I mean, there's people walking around in like spandex tutu suits and such. I think that the crazy life that you're living for these 2 months, I think that it eventually gets to you. And I think that the only thing that you can do is go a little crazy. And in his version of crazy was a little cocky and not thought out.
Yeah, but I mean, he's always been like this.
Mm-hmm.
He's always been like he makes these crazy moves, which is great because he made a power move. That was a big move in Big Brother. He backdoored Danny.
It was a big move.
And you know what's funny? Us as viewers, we start screaming. Then I'm looking at the chat room. Past seasons look like they were having a better time than these guys. Yeah, more booze. Yeah, you're right. Actually, they're not having a good time. None of them are happy. None of them had a good time.
Yeah.
And last year too.
We didn't see a lot of drunken mess.
No. We didn't see nudity. We haven't seen drunken mess.
Drunken mess is fun when they get all crazy. What was the blonde that ended up sleeping with Jesse? And she's like, I'm a woman.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you dead woman.
Yeah.
Trees. Woman.
It's interesting. She's a makeup artist. She's a very well-known makeup artist, too.
Wow.
Brilliant. I'm watching the feed right now. You still have time, actually. You can purchase the feed. I have no... I don't get anything from telling you to purchase the feed. I just really like watching these people.
The feed is fantastic.
Rachel's dancing in the dining room right now.
I want to see
Kalia's
that.
watching her. I always wondered that. Why you burn so many bridges in one shot? I mean, I could understand. And it's a night of an eviction. It's the day before an eviction. You're just losing it on everybody. Bah, 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 bah. You're just taking everybody out.
Right.
I don't know what he thought. Maybe he thought something else. Maybe he thought...
Maybe he was told something else.
I don't know. Who knows? But he...
Or maybe it just
really,
got the best of him.
Well, he was shocked. He was actually really surprised.
Right.
When he got evicted. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think he had anything to say.
Right.
He was actually hit hard by this. But you couldn't compete in that competition. You know there's going to be a double eviction any week now. You have to know that.
Right.
They've been playing this game for a while. This is the couple weeks, this or the following week, that there's a double eviction. I thought last week there would have been a double eviction, but no, it was this week. Right. And they know this. He's not stupid. Right. Maybe he thought, coup d'etat might come into play.
Something.
It's we make fun of Lawan for his crazy. The camera just fell, by the way. We talk about Lawan, not our camera, the Big Brother camera. It just went wacky.
Which camera?
We talk about Lawan and how he had this crazy theory and how stupid he was to do that. Right. It wasn't that. If you think about what's happened in the house in the past. Right. Yeah, it was dumb to nominate yourself, and he really was 100%, but it could happen that he could have gotten some sort of coup d'etat and come back in and eliminated someone at that moment. Right. You know what I mean? Like something crazy could have happened like that. You never know. And maybe that's what happened with Jeff. Maybe he thought, I have it now. Maybe they're going to maybe I'll get Pandora's box. Maybe he something had to have go through his mind because he's played this game before. And he kept Jordan totally out of the loop. And he made these crazy deals with people and fought with people. And he backdoored Brendan He backdoored Brendan. And then he backdoored Danny. Mm-hmm. He caused Brendan to go home. I mean, why would he do that? Because he'll win in final 2 against Brendan.
100%.
And Brendan wouldn't have turned. You know what? Regardless of what Rachel does, I don't think Brendan would have turned on Jeff.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
He wouldn't have. And I don't think he would have. And he fought with Rachel that right before eviction.
Mm-hmm. Right. All right, so final 2s.
Right now, Kalia Jordan.
Kalia Jordan.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Kalia Jordan. I don't think Adam's going to...
I'm going Porsche Rachel.
Porsche Rachel? You think Rachel over Porsche?
I think...
Well, okay, so let's break down the evictions and then we'll wrap it up.
I think Porsche's going to win. I think it would be Porsche Rachel, and I think Porsche's going to win. The overall.
Yeah, somebody says maybe Luan thought who's in is out and who's out is in. Flip the votes. That would have been the twist.
That would have been a really cool...
That would have been a great twist. Yeah.
Talk about changing the game.
Yeah.
Talk about changing the game.
And by the way, he was up against Rachel. Mm-hmm. That would have kept Rachel in the house.
Yeah.
Interesting. Because Rachel probably would have gone home if they didn't do that weird thing to get Lawan out.
Right.
That was baffling. You know what? This is my theory. Hell with this. They're all fucking actors.
Yeah.
They're all hired by CBS. This is written out there.
There's a giant casting call.
Giant casting call. These are all actors somewhere in Los Angeles, and Big Brother has been written from day one. That's my story.
I agree.
That's what I'm sticking to.
All right.
Final. You want to do final? Well, next week we'll be down to more. So you want to do the breakdown next week?
Sure.
Of the theory, we'll do that. We'll figure out who'll go home next week. I want to remind everybody and encourage everybody. You could email us at guysfromqueens.com. Let us know what you think of this season so far. Also, you could download us on podcast form on iTunes, on the Zune, on our website.
Do.
It's a great help when you download us and you subscribe, and all the shows are automatically downloaded as soon as they're updated within 24 hours. At gfqnetwork.com. Jess, any final thoughts?
I have no final thoughts.
I
hope this week is better than last week.
I think the winner is Julie Chan. I think she's going to win.
I think Julie always wins.
Yeah. Your dog, I'm going to throw him out of the window.
Can everybody hear him?
He's going out of the window.
He's crying.
I don't care. I'm evicting him.
You're evicting my puppy.
Yeah. And we'll see you all next week on Big Brother.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.